Well, hey, everybody. My name is Mark Boyle. Welcome to the Prepper Guy podcast. I already had to stop and get gas and do that, so I'm already driving. Um, so I don't know what to talk about today. Yesterday I did a podcast on Tuesday and talked a little bit about religion and what is it that God wants. And I'm sick to death of talking about politics because it, you and I, average American that's not, a libtard, dumb as dirt motherfucker, can see what's happening. We can see that the collapse at the border is because, you know, they've tied everyone's hands and they left the border wide open and they're so busy playing politics, blaming Trump and whatever. And it's not like you need to listen to a guy like, Tucker Carlson or Anderson Cooper or whoever you listen to go into the minutia of the details. Because back in 1954, blah 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 blah, and it makes for good TV and stuff, and that's why they probably make $14 million a year doing that shit. But the reality is, most sane Americans that just want to go to work and pay their bills and be left the fuck alone, basically, can figure it out. We can look at it and go, "This is a disaster. Why aren't they doing their job?" We can look at all of the problems in America and go, why aren't they doing X, Y, or Z? We don't need it explained to us and we don't need it handed to us, on a silver platter going, here you go. Here's all the details about that, going all the way back to, 30, 40 years ago. I mean, my dad used to drive cattle with the Mexican caballeros down into Mexico, and then he lived in Safford or Pima, Arizona, and they ranched. And everything was different, but you know they came with their cattle and rodeoed and had fun, and then the Mexican cowboys, caballeros, went home at the end of the day or the week or the ride or the roundup. And like my dad used to say, they'd go home because they had a home to go to, and then the families and the government stole all their land and took their private property, and now they have no home to go home to. And that sucks. I get it. It fucking blows. And, there's, let's say, 10, 15 million of them here now in America. And most people I've met people from, you know, all around the world, Russian immigrants, Ukrainian immigrants and stuff that all still miss their homeland. They don't want to be here. They'd rather be where their blood and their roots are. But they had to flee because the government was so oppressive and fucked up. Well, Mexico has the advantage of being right the fuck over there, like right that way, south of here, 30 miles. And there's 10, 12, 13, 20 million, whatever. And they're in America, so they can get a free copy of the Constitution, and then they could go down to Circle K and get some pins and scratch out America and write Mexico and then rewrite it on their computer. Actually, they could download the Constitution, and then they could edit it and then make a new one for Mexico because it's not copyright. And all they'd have to do is change the word America to Mexico. That's it. Leave everything alone because it worked really well. And in fact, if they got the older Constitution, the original document, it wouldn't have all that bullshit in there. And you could change it up a little bit to where it fit. And then buy a gun, two or three, and then illegally go across the border the other way because they're not strangers to breaking border law. Now they would be going to their home with guns, and it's just as easy to drive into Mexico with a bunch of guns as it is to drive out of Mexico with a bunch of drugs. Our border patrol are impotent, because the government fucked that all up. So just drive across the border with like truckloads of ARs. They don't have to be fully automatic. In fact, most combat, they'll teach you not to shoot automatic. It's just a waste. The only thing that a military grade AR would have would be the 3-round burst selection, to where when you pull the trigger, instead of it going fully auto, it shoots 3 rounds, bam, 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 and then it stops. That's kind of cool. Or you could learn some trigger control and just shoot 2-3 rounds and then stop. So they don't need those fancy guns, like Fast and Furious that Holder and them were selling to Mexico. The bad guys in Mexico. So it'd be all the good people in Mexico that have come here 10, 15, 20 years ago that really do want to work and really do want a better life, because the majority of the immigrants coming here actually are not fuck-ups. They just left that shithole because that was a shithole. So they could just go marching right across the border, go to their first little town. They couldn't just disperse. Go, I'm going back home. Ah! But just like hit Agua Prieta and Nogales and that, and you got 15 million people. That's just a fucking lot. And you just kill every motherfucker there that is an asshole. The crooked politicians, the crooked police and federales, the drug cartel. Just kill them. Just fucking kill them. You got 15 million people, so that's a big standing army. All you'd have to do is go into a pretty big town like Nogales, kill every dumb motherfucker that needs to die there, and then stand around and wait. Have some breakfast. Chill out. Because the drug cartel's going to go, wait a minute, and they're going to react really quick. And they're going to send more people in, because they don't know you have 15 million people there. So you kill them. You put a dent in their logistics, that's for sure. The same with the police, and then you just kind of spread out across the border. 15 million, you get a lot of people, and just start killing all these fuck-ups in these border towns. And then as you move south, if you looked at a map, Mexico kind of tapers down. So as you're killing people and freeing the people and giving them their land back, when you kill a bunch of people, talk to the padre or whatever there of the church, because the church kept all the records back then. Probably still does. Don't destroy the government buildings there. Go through and ransack the shit out of them. Find all the deeds and the land and all that, and give everyone their land back, and then reestablish private property rights with the might of your 15 million man army. And then you just keep moving south. And eventually it gets more and more condensed down there. So no matter how far the cartel and the drug dealers and the crooked police and federale and government, no matter how many people they have, eventually you're at a bottleneck to where if they just started shooting the front line, they could never get to the back line. But you're not going to do that, right? You're not stupid. So you just go in and kill people. You just literally kill people. That's what we had to do in the Revolutionary War. We had to kill our countrymen. I mean, we were all English at one time, and we were killing those people that over the last couple hundred years had become tyrannical in the American colonies. And we killed them. We killed them. And so it's no different than in Mexico, because it's actually less time that you were once one of them. And so you go in there, and yeah, you have to kill a lot of corrupt people. And it's sad, but that's called revolution. And then as you sweep through, you just kill people. Kill the bad guys. Kill them until they are dead. And then by the time you get to the border down at the southern end, the whole thing pops like a zit. And they're all gone. And then you just filter back up, straightening things out, killing all the stragglers that kind of hid from you, which would be hard to do with 15 million soldiers. And then, for God's sake, read the Constitution and get an understanding of what it is to be a republic, how electing representatives worked. Don't buy into the shit you see going on here in America, because we're a democracy now. We're as close to socialism and tyranny and a democracy as we can get. And democracies are straight up socialism. Don't let anyone fool you about, we're a democratic democracy. No, democracies are mob rule. Don't need that. So you got 15 people, 15 million people. I'm sure some of them are pretty fucking smart. And then you set up your government, and if anyone don't like it, just fucking shoot them. You got 15 million people. Maybe you're down to 10 million now because there was some fighting that went on, and maybe they dropped a bomb here and there. But eventually, you just kill all the motherfuckers. Don't buy into the bullshit. Don't get all into the emotions and the feelings of the heart and familia. Just kill the motherfuckers that have gone rogue and have fucked up your country for the last 50 fucking years. And then set up a new government and fix it. Fix it. God damn it. You're really good at working hard. Work hard. Fix your country. To me, it astounds me that a people that had a super government at one time, if you look at the infrastructure of Mexico, it was once free market. It was, I don't want to say capitalistic because that sounds like a bad word, like saying fuck or something scares people. But they were capitalistic. They were free market, and it worked better. It was like America, but they spoke Spanish. And then you can see by their crumbling infrastructure that socialism has fucked them and ruined everything. So you come to our country, and then you want a free pass. Like, well, for the last 20 years, I've been working on my house. It wouldn't be fair for somebody, even in my family, to come and say, hey, you're my uncle. I want to live here. You fix this place up really nice. I have some right to it? No, you don't. You buy your own fucking house and fix it up yourself. That's how they have to look at it. It's like, this is America, and it's ours, and we built it. We spent 250 plus years making it really cool. Oh, we spent 50 years fucking it all up. So 200 years of making it really cool. It's ours. It's called revolution. If you want something, work for it. Fight for it. Think about it. Struggle for it. Do it for future generations. Don't do it for you. And I know the Mexican people are very family oriented. I mean, trust me. That is one asset in their column of good assets that's rock solid. They are a family oriented people. Not like America where we're all just like, whatever, one for all and all for one. Woohoo. So do it for your generations to come. There's a word for it. Like every time I look it up, I forget it. But the founding fathers had that mindset. They weren't doing it for them. They weren't even doing it for their children. They were doing it for future posterity. And the Mexicans that revolt and kill all the fuckweeds have to do it for their great-great-grandchildren. They need to build something today on a foundation of concrete and stone that will be there for their great-grandchildren and their great-great-grandchildren. And they can look back and go, my great-great-great compadre, I guess that's the right word. I don't know how to say great-great in Spanish, but whatever. He did this. Look in the history book. That's him. He was a scholar, and he understood American principles of a republic, and he read, Rome and the republic it was before they fucked that all up, and all these empires that were republics. Because the founding fathers knew in history that democracies were the most destructive, self-destructing, suicidal form of government ever created, and no democracy in history has ever lasted more than 50 years. And if you look at America, when we started becoming a democracy, it's been about 50 years, and now we have destroyed ourselves through suicide. So my great-great-great-grandfather, he was the one that understood it, and they got together and they created this. And because they had killed everybody that was a remnant from the past, like all the cockroaches, they were able to start fresh. And there was no leftover remnants of poison in the water. They'd gotten it down to like 1 part per billion. And then they started over. And we've been drinking from the well of liberty now for 5, 10 generations, just like America used to do. You got to do it. Got to fucking do it. And that's the problem with our border. It's our politicians are stupid as fuck. And they're in league with the Mexican politicians that are also stupid and corrupt as fuck. And they don't care about you, the people. They don't care about the Mexican citizens that are coming here and really working hard. The guy from El Salvador, I think, the president of El Salvador, he was saying, he goes, we're really sad that all these people are leaving because people that we want left in our country are the people that are willing to walk 2,000 miles for a better life. We have let them down. There are good people out there. And the Mexican people are good. The American people are good. Our leaders don't give two flying rat fucks about us or them. So you have to, it's called revolution. I'm sorry. It's just, we had to do it. We went to war with England. We went to war with Spain. We went to war with France. We fought everybody over the 200 years. We even went to war with Mexico. We went to war with ourselves to have what we have now. And now people treat it so cheaply. It's like Memorial Day has just come and gone, and people mourn the loss of all those soldiers. And what were they dying for? Freedom and liberty. We've given that up. So they died in vain. I mourn the loss of freedom and liberty and the price those people paid for us to get drunk and sell it for a fucking penny on a dollar. And that's what we're doing. And it is our fault. We the people, it's our fault. We'll sit there and go, well, it's our leaders. We elected them. No, they've been lying to you for 70, 80 fucking years. And nobody wants to do anything about it. We could have done something easy about it, like way back in the day, you know, when FDR said, no, we want to have we want to have, you know, popular vote. And the congressmen, they knew that was like walking away from a lot of authority. And they're like, yeah, fuck yeah, we don't want to deal with that electoral college thing anymore. We'll do it this way. Yeah. Could have impeached them and threw them all out of office and got new people and scrapped that law just like they did with prohibition. And the people rose up and said, fuck you. And a lot of people died when they said, fuck you. And revenue agents got into wars with moonshiners and people died because the people were saying, fuck you. This is unconstitutional. It's an unjust law. It's repugnant. And if you're too stupid to understand that, we will fucking shoot you because you don't deserve to live in a free country. And that's what happened. And it became unenforceable, and so they did away with it. We could have done that 100 years ago. We could have been vigilant, but we decided to just be fuck-offs and elect more fuck-offs to do fuck shit, nothing. And now here we are. And now what are we left with? We are left at a tipping point to where blood will have to be shed. And we will be considered the bad guys for doing it because of that. So patriots are all sitting back going, when that shit hits the fan, I am fucking them people up. But we can't do it right now. But because we're on that course and it's past the point of no return, you cannot go back ever again. You have to wait until you reach the end point, and then when it collapses and law and order go, fuck this, I'm going to shoot him too. I'm not going to arrest you. Let's do what's right. Then we can fight and kill and get our country back. Unfortunately, the point of no return for saving the republic has passed also. There's not one person smart enough among us to rebuild the nation as it once was. We will collapse. We will all be fleeing to Mexico if they get their shit together and march on Mexico like I just explained. And then we will be going there. It's like, our place is now a shithole. We want to come here. And they'll be like, oh, sorry, we got border policies too. You guys are so stupid. We don't want you here. You fucked up a really good Ferrari, turned it into a Hugo. Fuck off. Get out of here. We learned. You learned. And there's no one that can do it. And there's not anyone smart enough to sit there and go, look, here's the Constitution. Dust it off. Use it. No, that was written by rich white slave owners. Fuck that. We need to write a new one. And we will go through the roads of 1,000 years of darkness. That's it. That is the end game. So Mexico has a chance because, you know, There's a lot of them over here that are now smart. And yeah, sure, will American government get mad and call them, revolutionaries and we need to stop them? There's nothing, you can't stop 15 million armed people dead set on overthrowing their fucking corrupt government. You can't convince 15 million people. Go home. Nothing to see here. Move along. So it would work. It would work in America if 15 million Americans just walked into every Capitol building in America and said, get the fuck out. Go now. Go. You've got 2 hours to vacate the premises or we're killing people. Get the fuck out. Well, then we could do that. But see, you just have a peaceful, upset bunch of people at the Capitol on January 6th, and you would think that we were ass-raping fucking puppies. That's how the Dems are looking at it. It's like, oh my God, this is the worst thing in history of America. It's like, really? Like, what about Pearl Harbor? Oh, way worse than Pearl Harbor. I mean, Pearl Harbor was reasonable because they were mad at us because we're imperialistic fucks. What about 9/11? Yep, we deserved that. This is way worse. These people they weren't armed, but we're saying they were armed because they have arms and legs. So they were armed insurrection. This is the worst thing ever. And so what do we do as patriots? Like, we cower in our corner and we pee ourselves and we roll over and expose our belly and say, here, don't hurt me. I'm open to submission. Here's my belly. Here's my front side. So that's what the patriots in America have become. I'm sorry. I love patriots. I'm a patriot. I love America. But when we just refuse to resist and not comply, when we refuse to stand up and go fuck yourself, when we refuse, like I have a Facebook group called Bureaucracy Sucks because I couldn't think of anything else. And the opening pin statement is like, I'm looking for people that want to fight City Hall, not just with bad language, but I mean really fight them. Everybody's like, great idea, Mark. Where the fuck are they all? So I'm fighting City Hall just on private property rights, and it just the city's not doing nothing. They're like, oh, whatever, So that's just private property rights in Arizona. Just one little shithole town. So nobody's going to fucking help. So you could go in there and go, fuck you. And then they arrest you, put you in cuffs, and all your friends that, had your back are now standing back there saying, I don't know him, man. Yeah. Fuck, dude. What the fuck's wrong with you, man? They got guns. Yeah, so did we. Yeah, but we're all pussies. So we are doomed. I'm sorry. We are doomed. America is dead. The fat lady sang so fucking long ago that she's now retired, died of old age, and is decomposing in some unmarked grave somewhere. Here lies the fat lady. She got tired of singing, and no one was fucking paying attention. So it's over. I'm sorry. It's so fucking over. That's how I can smile about this, and I can go to work every day and go, I'm just waiting for the hand of God to show up and bitch slap the fuck out of the people of America because that's what we need. But, God will do it, so no one will be able to accuse him of being a racist. Well, they will, but he's not going to care. He's got legions of fucking angels. So we are not angels. We are legions of chickens, cowards, yellow belly dogs rolled over waiting for some politician to scratch our belly and throw us a fucking treat and a fourth stimulus check. So I'm sure I've pissed everybody off. But see, I don't care because now I'm at work. I can just shut this fucker off and upload it. Let the chips fall where they may. You as Americans, I started out talking about this, know it's true. I can't sugarcoat it. I can't factually sugarcoat it. I can't put so much information out there that it would be a 7,000-page book. We know we are fucked. We know at a roots level of our being that America's over. It's dead. We know it. It's just you can wake up in the morning, look in the mirror and go, well, if I look at everything that's happening in the world today, I can do nothing about it. We're fucked. It's over. Mark is right. It's over. What are we going to do about it? Nothing. Brush your fucking teeth and go to work. Sorry to be a downer, so if you're looking for prepper information, learn to camp, because prepping is camping, and when you get thrown out of your house or it gets burnt down, all your preps are going to burn up with it, and then you're going to be camping and hunting. So buy a bow, buy some ammo, get a tent, learn to build a shelter, whatever, and get the fuck out of Dodge when that day happens. Unless you really, get caught up in the fight and you have to fight, then fight. All right, I'm done rambling on about that. I'm going to go have a good day at work. Make some money. Talk to y'all later. Love you. Enjoy the apocalypse. The revolution. The revelations. The end of the fucking world as we knew it. Shit hitting the fucking fan. Enjoy it all. Savor the moment. Be in the moment. Bye-bye.
We've made too many compromises already. Too many retreats. They invade our space, and we fall back.
I'm your huckleberry.
The line must be drawn here. This far, no farther.
That's just my game.